I'll talk now a little bit about ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Your child might not get diagnosed with ADHD, but clearly the world we are living in with social media and with the amount of stress we go through, we all have some form of ADHD. And to treat it or to at least know what's there in your child, which could develop into a situation down the line, is very, very important. So, and this is a growing, ADHD is growing in the children right now that I'm seeing. Many of my own students come to me, and after I see them, I tell them, to get a diagnosis, and some of them actually do come back with the diagnosis. It's really a chronic neurological development disorder. I talk about it in detail because people procrastinate of knowing this. And if this is detected in your child or in you, and getting it taken care of can make a world of difference to your career. It's really given to individuals who have a hard time keeping up with timelines, or have social response or impulse reactions, where they get distracted very quickly, or they are not able to maintain themselves socially in social settings. Or they're having relationship issues. ADHD can come at any time in your life. It can grow, and if it's not taken care of, it'll just get worse with time. It does not get better on its own. Sometimes with some children, it gets better with time, but that science is, the jury is out on that. Okay? It is an abnormality in the executive function of the brain. This is genetic. It can be caused by some trauma too, but most of it is genetic. Inherited 57 to 97% of times, mean is 80%, but males tend to get affected more. But identical twins have a requirement, could have this as well. So if a parent has an offspring, if parent has ADHD, offspring has likelihood is pretty high. Okay. Core issues: impulsivity, poor regulation of activity. You see very disorganized. Their wardrobe is disorganized. They're just having emotional, victim feelings, emotional over arousal. They just can't follow instructions all the way. They will get lost. If you tell them 5 things to do, they will not do them in the order. You might think of it, they're not being attentive. They might forget things. They might not. They might look absent-minded to you, but they're super creative as well. Well, just because you're absent-minded doesn't become you'll become creative. But it's it's something which should be looked upon and to see what it is. There are pathological cures to handling ADHD. There are, if some of this is pervasive, it can actually lead to a lot more bigger problems down the line. Some of these things. What's it like to have ADHD? It's a behavioral situation, dysfunction of the cognitive ability. You just come across very hyperactive or low on energy. You get distracted very quickly. You're very creative about things, but you can think about like 5 things going on in the brain at the same time. You have trouble focusing in the classroom, just listening to a teacher, following instructions, getting done with homeworks on time. Academic progress is always a roller coaster, right? It's up and down. You think, you're way smarter than that, but you're moody. You really want to do well. You get frustrated very quickly, but it's not showing on the numbers. And it's not something which you can do by just working harder. It is something which you have to figure out. This is something which doesn't get, sometimes they said, this is just a presentation, by the way, I picked up somewhere, but it's very close to understanding what are ADHD problems. They compensate for struggles by masking it, by either trying to be creative in other ways. They will try to sound aloof from everybody else. They're often described as lazy. They don't care. They're unmotivated. They don't try hard enough. And I'm telling you all this because honestly, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and very late, like at the age of 47, I got diagnosed. So and I heard all this about myself for the longest time. So for me, this is very personal to get detected. And a lot of students I know, kids go through this, but parents will not diagnose them. Typical exposure of vulnerabilities is they're very low on self-esteem. They might not show it, but they're low on self-esteem. They feel the humiliation a lot more. They feel like they're dumb. They become defensive. They lie about a lot of things. And, it's just an unfortunate thing, but it's just a mental disorder.
Harpal, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So how do they, is it like a medical procedure, or how do they identify that, if somebody has a ADHD, but doesn't expose?
Yeah, there's a psychiatric evaluation for this thing.
I see.
You have to go through that, and the psychiatrist will make the evaluation based on, like in my case, my therapist saw this in me, and she said, she asked me to see a psychiatrist, and I did 2 years ago, and I got on medication, Adderall, because of that, and that changed my life so much. It's so amazing. I'm so glad that therapist was able to diagnose it for me.
Right.
Best part is the amount of research that has happened in ADHD is more than any other mental disease in the world. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of research done, and you can apply, and and I'm happy to give you guys more details about this. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I was just curious. The people probably won't even know, right? They
Yeah,
have it.
no, we won't. And the thing is, in my own case, I didn't realize it. I mean,
Yeah.
so late, and when I realized it. Okay. So you will see strengths and gifts. They can be very creative and charming. Like this is me, right? All the way, enthusiasm, hyper focused. Like right now I'm working on this, college admissions. I am totally focused into it, right? They get hyper focused on things, and that's just who they are as people. So there's our strengths, and sometimes some people consider that to be a shortcoming, but I think it's an amazing gift for ADHDers. Okay. It relates to comorbid conditions, which conditions that can happen as a part of going through ADHD. These things can develop if they're not handled in time, get into tics, Tourette's disorders, depression can come through, the learning disabilities, definitely, like, the reading and dyslexia can come along with it. Their comorbid conditions can be also situations where ADHDers are likelier to get into fights more often, relationship issues, accidents on the streets, because they are not as focused. It's just what it is. But knowing this is important, because the comorbid condition, again, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, oppositional defiance. So these things can happen. Defiant disorders, conduction disorder. These are all normal things that can happen. The core is the other diagnoses which share similar symptoms are depression, anxiety, bipolar, thought disorder. So any of these, if you're displaying somehow, it's a fair chance you also have ADHD along with it. Or if you have ADHD, all these are fair game that these can happen along with it. So, it's completely understandable. Okay. They have social difficulties which are manifested by intrusive disbehavior, erratic or variable behavior. Students, well, many children are demanding and controlling, but ADHDers tend to go a different way altogether. Maturity is to lag. They kind of don't have what is called as they don't have that, or they lack the ability to, as they call the feedback channel, or to hold themselves. They just keep speaking. They're impulsive. There's some of them can be behind their age group in maturity. Many of them, 30 to 40% of children can have depression and anxiety as a part of it. Okay. How is the diagnosis made? Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not professing to be a doctor. I just found a good presentation on this. So I figured, I should talk about it. 2 ways: you can get a medical evaluation, a psychological evaluation. Psychiatrists can do this. It costs like $300, $400, $500, something, to get an evaluation, and they can tell you if it's there or not. It's a fairly structured process they go through to ask good amount of questions, and they can figure out if it's there or not. Treatment is education. There's counseling, medication, and consultation. So consultation of the school personnel. All 4 are required. It's not one or the other. There's no magical bullet of a medication. You have to go through cognitive behavioral therapy to counseling to get this resolved. They will teach you how to become more consistent in the therapy sessions, problem-solving techniques. They give you support to understand, to appreciate the problem, how others have dealt with that problem, and they'll teach you how to break some of these cycles of behavioral issues that you're getting into. In the classroom, if people know you have ADHD, the classroom will help you. They will actually, the teachers will, if once you're on the 504 with this, they know. They will not put you on the spot with questions. Okay, you will get through things which will make things much better for you. Where am I? I lost presentation. Did I? Anyway, the tests are, all the details are here. Assessment centers, we talked about that. No, this is wrong. Looking at the wrong presentation. Where is it going? What was I just looking at? Okay. Anyway, so that, the presentation is there giving a lot more details. So I'll kind of, at this point, I'm just going to stop this, and pretty much at the end of the hour as well.